All right, guys. All right, welcome, guys. I appreciate you all being on and really taking the time to, go out and change your plans. You wanted to just log on to Facebook Live and be able to watch this great interview, but I'm telling you, we're going to make it up to you. We really are. I'm going to do a quick intro. Guys, everyone knows that I am considered an expert, and I do take pride in that I've been teaching how to raise private money for well over 10 years myself. I've been raising money for over 25 years, close to 29 years in my business. I used to do it the hard way like most people are doing it. And since I met this gentleman, not only has my business got a lot easier because I'm not a tech guy, I'm not a marketing guy, but my students' business has gotten a lot easier. He is, I'm going to bring on, and you guys didn't even know who was going to be on. I wanted to make a surprise guest because you probably don't know a lot about him. I don't know if you do or not. But not only is Daniil Kleyman the founder of Rehab Valuator, which he's going to show you here in a minute, but he's also been in the business since 2006, guys. Investing before the market became great, before everybody became the best investor there is. And in 2008, he went full time. Not only did he do fix and flips, he develops. He's out of like the Virginia area now, but he built this platform for investors, thinking about investors, probably built it for his own business, to start raising money, not only from private investors, but to go to a bank and to raise a lot of money. And I asked them a couple questions. Because I've been using his system. My students have been using his system. And I asked them, I was like, Daniel, we've been trying for probably 3-4 months to get on here because he's busy, I'm busy. But I felt it was so important for not me to show you this business. He's the founder of this. He's going to open up his laptop and show you behind the scenes, couple things like how to correctly raise private money and bank financing for all your deals, how to ask for money the right way. A lot of people, we talk about it, a lot of people are out there asking for money the wrong way. And he's going to show you how to ask for money the right way, and probably not even how to ask for money, just how to present the deal. And money, like I talk about, money will be flowing towards you. He's going to show you this software demo tool that I use in my business, my students use in their business, to raise, like I talked about, all the private money and bank financing you're going to have. So with that, I want to thank you. And I think we're wearing the appropriate attire, right?
I like your shirt.
For men, he got me a men's small,
Got great fashion sense, sir.
But I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you really don't have the time, and he's like, as long as I can put my kids to bed, I'll do this for you guys. And man who's living the lifestyle that I love to live and I talk about, as busy as he is, I appreciate you being on. People are going to keep popping on. I know we're going to hit the 100. I know we're going to hit that 100 mark. We're already over 20-something attendees. Guys, ask your questions on here in the chat room. This is being recorded, so it was sent out. I will ask Daniel the questions after he's done. But pay attention. Get your pad and paper out. Do not turn your phones off, please. Get off Facebook. This is so important for you guys. I want you to see it. So Daniel, thanks so much. Please give the group a little background of who you are, what you're doing, and let's get into it.
Sure. Well, Dan, I appreciate you having me on. I think I told you before we started this officially that, it's always rewarding when I see, big name guys like you, experienced with a big following, kind of recognize what we're doing and see the value in it. And it's always, we have a lot of clients, but it's always great to see really experienced guys like yourself actually use our software and put it to work. So, and I'm happy to be here. I know you and I have been trying to link up for a long time to do something for your group, and schedules are crazy. Technology, is, you can see, is kind of crazy.
It's the first time it happened on Facebook. It's like, man, I've been praising this interview for like weeks now, telling people for weeks, wait, you have to be on. I'm not even telling you. Guys, I didn't even tell people that you were the one coming on.
Well, if you told people I was the one coming on, they probably would all go watch like Dancing with the Stars tonight or something. So,
They have no, listen, what I love about it, and I'm happy, and everyone in my group knows that I will never promote some program or some person that I don't personally use or would use in my business if I had a need for it. I'm so strict about that because there's so many groups out there that will just post anybody. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Post a deal, post for money, post a program out there. And what you're doing is just, you built this system for yourself, and you're not here to make money off your system. You're in the business. You're an investor. I mean, we just talked about you doing a huge development deal coming up, like a $10+ million development deal. You have your own group of mastermind. You're teaching your students how to do this the right. What I love about it is you're teaching them the right way. You're not about, let me have as many deals as I can get. Let me sell as many programs as I can sell. I mean, geez, the price you sell your program for, I think I told you a while back, it's still way too cheap. I still think it's way too cheap. But it's just, you want to get it in everyone's hands so they learn the right way to learn. And that's what I love about you. And that's why I teach what I teach, is I just want people to learn the right way to raise private money, the right way to do this business. Because if you do, you'll be in this business a long time, and it'll be great for you and your family. And what you're doing is phenomenal.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we're big on fundamentals, right? I mean, one of the things that we do for our students and our clients is we teach fundamentals. Like, I'm a math guy, which isn't very sexy, but at the core of real estate is math. At the core of real estate is understanding how to structure your deals, how to put together offers, how to put together the deals for your investors in a way that they can understand it. So, I'll show you, and thanks guys all for being on. I'm not going to make this super technical tonight. I've got a couple of slides prepared. It's very unofficial, but I think the reason why what we do works is because it's simple. As you'll see, we take complicated things and we make them simple for you. And then in turn, the reasons why these funding presentations work, and is one of the many things that the software does, is because you're taking somewhat complicated real estate deals and you're making them simple for your investors and putting something in front of them that they can understand. Private lenders, the big misconception about private lenders is, there's all the hard money lenders posing as private lenders, but the real private lenders are like regular Joe Schmoes that live next door to you. You start hitting them with complicated terminology and all sorts of crazy stuff, their eyes will go blank, right? So one of the reasons why I think what we do is our clients are so successful is because it's simple. So that's what I'll show you. Let me share my slides. I've got like 3 slides prepared. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this.
Just to share a screen right on the bottom. You should have an arrow.
Let's share.
Make sure you're sharing the right screen.
Oh man, let's see. All right, so can you see my slides?
Yep, we do. We see them great.
All right, cool. All right, so that's the fancy title, right? We're going to talk about raising money the right way. And my name is Daniil Kleyman. So I'm not going to go into like a long, crazy intro, right? About me. I live, I invest, I develop real estate in Richmond, Virginia. We're in the East Coast. It's a great market. I spent up until 2008, I was a corporate slave with basically terrible attitude. I think the term unemployable applies to me. I went from company to company and hated every minute of it and made good money, learned some good things, but it wasn't for me, right? So I transitioned. Luckily, after the recession, I started investing part-time in 2006, bought a bunch of properties, and then luckily during the recession, I got laid off. They kicked me to the curb, and that was a good sort of time for me to just say, you know what, I'm gonna go out on my own, and I luckily then transitioned into being a happy entrepreneur, even though it's crazy. And I run 3 companies, and every other day I wake up and I say, why am I running 3 companies? This is insane. And I think I was telling you, like, we're in the middle of a bunch of development projects, and I've got, in the next 12 months, we're breaking ground on close to like another $10 million in development projects, mostly mixed use and multifamily stuff. So it's nuts, right? Like, what we do is crazy, but it's fun, and we do this on our own terms. And we can quit anytime we want to. Not really, like, we're deal junkies, right? So we'll keep doing this.
Exactly.
So I currently own, I started off wholesaling. I've done a bunch of fix and flips, but really focus of what I have been doing for the last couple of years is really building an income producing portfolio. All I care about are monthly checks. That's all I care about. I just want to build up that mailbox money. I want to keep making money, right? I want to keep having recurring income coming in every single month. So I currently own a portfolio worth roughly $18 million. And I've got, like I said, about 10 plus more million in the pipeline. Single family houses, multifamily. A bunch of stuff that I'm building right now is mixed use. So we do corner commercial and we do apartments around it, apartments above it. I'm developing a project now where we've got like a yoga studio, a juice store going next to it. Then the building directly next door to it is going to have offices, restaurant, and then another 21 apartments. A couple other projects. So like, I love this stuff. I would do it if, honestly, I mean, I think you find out if something for you if you ask yourself, like, would I do this if I wasn't getting paid? And, you know, I would do development if I wasn't getting paid for it. So, Dan, I know you are a pro at Burr, right? You teach Burr. So I built most of my portfolio so far using the Burr method, and I can go into detail, you know, as to what that means. But I'm assuming most people that follow you kind of know what that's
right. Yeah, they buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So basically, you're pulling all your money out on a deal. And the way I'm sure you're going to show that when you show your system of, hey, is this a good deal? Or is it hold, buy and hold, or is flip it over? Is this a good deal? Is it a flip? So real quick, you could show people in 2 seconds to look at both numbers. And once they see that, it's there. We're not here to teach people, hey, use the Burr method. Hey, you do a flip. So your stuff is so powerful that they can decide on their own. Hey, like my model is not to flip really much anymore, right? So it all depends on what their vision is. There's no right or wrong.
So that's one of the things you can do, right? You can, and I'll show you, you can either easily analyze, what am I going to make if I flip it? Or what am I going to make if I keep it, rent it out, refinance, right? Can I pull all my money out of this deal? If I can't pull all of my money out, I'm leaving some cash tied up. What's my cash and cash return on that deal? So very easy to make kind of intelligent decision making, right? So now most of what I'm doing is ground up development. And I build kind of, it's almost opportunistic. I probably build 5 to 10 spec houses a year that we sell to owner occupants. We're sort of pulling back on that side of the business because we see the market shifting and sales are slowing down. But for the last probably 5 years, I've been building, you know, 5 to 10 houses a year, and we've been selling them around where we do multifamily development. And I mostly do that through JVs, and I can talk about that as well.
Sure.
So funding proposals and structures you can create with the software, right? Fix and flip loans, or if you're building and flipping, fix and flip pure joint ventures. And I can show how to structure what I call pure JVs, where you're not paying your lender any interest or any points. It essentially becomes a joint venture where you're paying them a profit split. And actually, and again, as I mentioned, that's how I do a lot of my spec house building. I buy the land, I then finance the construction, and a builder gets a piece of the profits. And I literally show up to the property like twice. I once built 5 houses where the first time I saw them was at the open house.
That's awesome. So real quick with that, so you actually buy the land yourself?
Yeah, so I'll typically go in, I'll buy the land with cash. Okay. I'll put the land into an LLC. Okay. And then either a local community bank will fund construction. This last batch that we did, we actually just we listed 3 houses last week and we got an offer on 1 today. I have a portfolio of free and clear properties that I have roughly $1.5 million credit line against those free and clear properties. And so that credit line is funding 100% of the construction. And so I'll put the land into an LLC, and then we have a joint venture agreement with a builder, and it's got to be somebody you know and somebody that you trust, right? But we have an agreement that basically says, I will fund the construction, your ownership in an LLC starts out at 0%, and for every 2% of construction you complete, you know, you submit your funding draws. For every 2% of construction you complete, you get 1% ownership in that LLC. And so that way, by the end of the construction, as he's completed 100% of the construction, he's got 50% ownership in LLC.
That's awesome.
And then we sell the house. And after I recoup my investment, I pay off the credit line. We share the profits. And
now he's got skin in the game. You have skin in the game.
Yeah, and you know, and he makes good money. I make good money with the house we listed today. We built 3 of them, and profit margin on each one, if we sell them at the listing price, is going to be about $120,000. So there's a lot of meat on the bone there.
But they're making less on their construction up front, right? So they're not charging you retail pricing on construction.
No. He's building, you know, we're building these houses cheap. It's a great quality product, but we're building them. You know, he's not charging me anything above his cost, right? So whereas a house, if I hired a GC and paid them like a GC, would cost me, let's say, $105, $110 a foot to build, we're bringing them in at $85 a foot and then sharing the profits on the rest.
Awesome.
We're building them for $85 a foot, but we're putting them on the market for $180.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. What you're doing is genius. And this is what I'm trying to show my students and show people in my group, is to think outside the box. Like, there's so many people that are so simplistic in the way they think, and it's not a deal. It's not a deal. It's not a deal. But you just took something that might not be a deal and you turned it into a deal, and you created a partnership where there's two sides. See, a lot of times partnerships don't have two sides to this. It's like, I know people come to me and they're like, hey, can you put up the money? I'll partner with you. I put up the money, then I wind up doing all the work.
Yeah,
and then they want to split it with me.
Right. So that, yeah, I mean, that doesn't work, right? So for me, I'm busy. Most of my focus is on other things. I control the land and I have access to financing, but I don't want to put any time in. So this is a great deal for me because the way these deals are structured, our interests are completely aligned. So I don't have to babysit him.
I love it. I love it. So that's great. And I know I've showed some of my students your numbers and how to figure out cost and put your cost in there. Once you put your cost into your system one time, essentially it just spits out. You just put the square footage, how many windows, the roof, the square on the roof, and it just boom, it spits everything out like instantly. Yeah. I mean, I've done presentations in less than 10 minutes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you can automate all of that stuff, and I'll go through it, and I won't get super technical because I know it's what's today? Today's it's an evening, so I won't go crazy on it. But so here's the other thing: short-term private loans for BRRRR deals. You can structure in the system and present them to lenders. We use the software for millions and millions of dollars of bank financing, takeout bank financing, perm financing for my new construction projects, but you can use it for BRRRR deals. So you can show your bank, this is what I'm putting into the deal in terms of purchase, in terms of renovation. This is what it's going to be worth. This is my new income. This is my new expenses. This is my new net operating income. Here's the new loan that I want. Here's the debt coverage ratio of the new loan. And you're spelling it out for the bank. Like, I've literally probably raised $10+ million of bank financing using that. We use it for new development, construction, plus perm financing. Most of my construction loans for new development projects automatically roll over to permanent financing when construction is finished, which is pretty nice because then I don't have to do an actual refi. So
you're saving a ton of money as well.
Yeah, and more. That's what the slide says. So let me dive into the software.
Love it. I love it. I'm actually excited. I'm so excited, because I don't think you've ever showed me the software. I think I kind of went through.
I think you kind of did it on your own, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's so easy to use. I just watched some videos and I did it on my own, but I've never actually, guys, I know him for a while and I've been following Daniil for a long time and love the software. And it came recommended to me by students of mine years ago. All right. So that's how good it was. And I was like, I had to get in. I got in there and I'm like checking this out and I learned how to do it. But I guarantee you I'm going to learn something today that I didn't know from the founder of the program. That's why I'm so stoked.
I hope so. I hope this will be time not wasted. So the software itself is simple, right? This is your input screen. So we'll set this to rehab. You start off by entering your purchase price. So let's just look at it. Let's look at an example to keep things simple for now of a house you're going to buy, rehab, and flip, right? Super easy. So you're going to pay $200,000 for the house. You can go in here, enter your closing costs.
We don't see the screen. You have to stop the share of your presentation.
Oh.
Change yours, and then hit screen share again and go to the screen where it's on.
Stop share. All right. And then share.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thank you. All right, screen. How's this?
Perfect.
All right, fantastic.
Ben, you're a godsend. I got Ben on here, one of my top students that took this. So I don't know if he's using this, but he's raising some serious private money, doing great things himself.
It's nice to have smart students. They always ask good questions. So okay, so now everybody should be able to see my screen. So this is if we go back to my deals, this is where all my deals are stored, and I can sort them by potential deals, active projects I'm working on, and then archive deals. Archive deals I started saving here recently. They contain actual results for properties that I've built along with all of my costs, my cash flow, my final cash flow, et cetera, et cetera. So if I go to potential deals, we're going to look at a house that we're going to buy, rehab, and flip, right? That's what we'll start off with. So we're going to keep it very simple. I'm going to buy this house for $200,000. I can enter my closing costs as a percentage of purchase price. I can just stick in the lump sum, or I can itemize them any way I want. All right. So let's just leave it as a percent of purchase price. Same thing for holding costs. I can itemize my holding costs. I can add more fields here, or I can just ballpark it. Usually if I'm going into a deal and I'm just trying to figure out an offer and I'm running ballpark analysis, I just ballpark things. Like I don't need to know exactly what my closing costs are going to be to the penny. It's not really necessary. So my budget is here. Now there's two ways to enter the budget. I can just stick in the lump sum again, right? I can just ballpark. I can say this house is 2,280 square feet and it's going to cost me $80,000 to renovate it. Or I can go into detailed input and I can create a detailed budget. Now, what we've done, and really a lot of this has come from the fact that I've really just been building this for myself, right? I wanted to create a platform where I can save all my costs. So you can go in here and you can just preload. We give you some templates, but they're just examples, right? I'm not going to tell you what things are going to cost you in your market in terms of renovations, because there's just no way for me to accurately predict that. But what we allow you to do is go in here, create your budget, create some rules, right? And then save your costs. So you know that dumpsters, 30-yard dumpster costs you $375 every time you dump and return it. So this is already populated. So you go into templates and you load, let's say, a cosmetic rehab template, right? And it loads this template in. And you just go in here and you simply switch out, well, this house has 20 windows, right?
And guys, I'm going to say this.
And it updates all my costs for me. So I can do this in the field. I can put this on my iPad. I can walk through the house and simply update quantities of windows, doors, right, square feet, and it'll populate my budget for me based on my costs. So once I've gone out to get bids on something once, I can save this. I know what things cost me. The only thing that varies is simply going to be items in your scope of work. So if I'm walking through a particular house, maybe here I don't need to redo the baths. Well, I simply zero that out for this deal, right? So, and again, we have detailed tutorials and all of this, but the project management functionality is pretty sweet because now I can go into my transactions and I can keep track of my costs in real time. There's an accounting platform here, and it's brain that simple, because every time I pay somebody, I'm going to link that transaction to some line item in my budget. So then, and all my vendors are stored here, all my payment methods, and then I can track my project in real time. And so I know in real time what my budget is versus my actual, right? So in real time, I can go in here and I can say, I budgeted, you know, $1,125 for dumpsters. I haven't paid anybody out yet. I have another $1,125 to go. So this is helpful during the project and then after the project for you to be able to see, this was my budget. This is where I went over. This is where I went under. Here, let me adjust my cost templates to be in line with what things actually turned out to cost. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And guys, this is great. So when you sit with, I know a lot of you guys here are not contractors, but two ways to do it. If you get involved in a deal, whether it's buying a note, foreclosing on it, having to rehab it, you're gonna have your contractor tell you the rehab is $40,000. If you want to just put in $40,000, you don't have to do all this. What Daniil's done is he's made it great. I use the same thing because I go through properties. I know how much a dumpster costs every time. I know how much my windows cost. I know how much my roof costs. So it's a lot easier for me to just go through myself and do it. But if you don't want to do it, you don't do that. You literally just put a $40,000 rehab. You don't have to itemize it. It's there if you want to, but you don't have to do it. You can keep it really simple.
I mean, you can use rules of thumb, right? So if I know the house is 2,280 square feet and I want to do a cosmetic renovation to it, I want to swap out kitchens, I want to swap out baths, it's going to cost me $40 a foot to do so. So I can simply take out my iPhone, multiply 2,280 by $40 a foot, and it actually gets me somewhere to about $80,000, right? So let's leave that in there, $80,000. And I'm going to say it's going to take me 3 months to do the rehab. And then what does my financing look like? Well, I want 100% financing. I don't want to put money into this deal, right? If I'm going to ask for money, and if I'm building private money relationships, let's shoot for the moon, right? Let's get 100% financing. Why not?
Just don't come to me.
Why not? Why not, right?
Well, when you raise money, guys, it's private money. It's not hard money. When you raise money, it's your program. You call the shots. You put it out there. When people are fighting to give you money in your deals, like they are with Daniil, like they are with myself, like there are with some of my students that are on this page right now. I see them on here. I'm not going to mention who they are, but they're on here, that we have more money than we have deals. Well, we also, not only do we get 100% financing, but we also, rates go down from, 10 to 9 to 8. I'm down to 6% for some of my money. I'm almost ready to 5% for some of my money because I can't get all that money in play right now because I don't have the deals for all the money I have. So you call your shots, like Daniil says, when you learn how to raise money the right way, when you look like a professional, and he hasn't even got to that. When he shows you what this looks like at the end, you're never going to have to ask for money again. I can promise you that.
So, and this is what I always say. I've never asked anybody for money. I don't ask my banks for money. I have opportunities for people to participate in my deals.
Yeah, awesome. That's exactly what I teach people.
Yeah, and if you're going around, let me see, where's my face in this camera? Okay, there we go. If you're going around asking people for money, right? You're approaching things with the wrong mindset. If you're going around saying, "Hey, I really need to do this deal. I really need this loan," you're not approaching things from a position of power, right? Instead, you have opportunities for people to participate in your real estate deals, and they're great opportunities for people to get involved. So change that shift, right? I mean, you're not asking anybody for money. You're presenting them opportunities
for your program, to be involved in your program the way you do it. It's up to you the way you want your program to be, not their way, your way.
I mean, fact is, if you guys have great deals that people can participate in, there's far more money. Dan, you just said that. There's far more money out there right now looking to participate in great deals than there are smart deal makers like you that have great mentors like Dan that actually know how to put that money to work. That's a far more scarce, quantity right now than money. Money is everywhere.
Somebody just hit us up and said, if you have too much money for your projects, I'll take some. I don't know who that was that said, but I get that all the time. Guys, when you're done with this, if you just do this simple, this is not even everything I teach, but this is just one simple thing. If the least you do is do this presentation and you have a good group of people that you could send this to, I don't guarantee a lot, but I guarantee that people will be fighting to give you money. You'll probably fill up your deal before everybody answers you. Because I always tell people, next time take my class on taking action because you didn't respond fast enough and this deal is already full. But I'm also not raising hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, I'm raising from 1 to 2 million on deals on buying bank assets at a time. So it fills up pretty quick. But just think about it. If you guys only need 250 to 500,000 and you have a list of 200 people and you send out what Daniil's going to show you at the end, how professional it looks, you'll have banks fighting over funding your deals. You'll have lenders fighting over funding your deals. You'll have investors looking to partner with you, get involved in your deals because there's nobody doing this. Exactly what happens here is they're like, can I get some money? I don't know anything about the deal. I don't know who's on your team. I don't know your ARV. I don't know your comps. I don't know your scope of work. I don't know your draw schedule. I don't know who you are. If you could just look at the least bit professional, you'll never have a problem raising money. So go ahead with that. Keep going.
And again, don't get bogged down in the numbers, right? This is all very simple stuff. So we're structuring our financing. We're going to ask for 100% of cost, no points. We're going to pay interest on the back end. We're going to offer 8% interest rate, and we're not going to make interest payments during the renovation. We're going to make interest payments on the back end as well. So you're going to accrue interest payments. Now, what you can get away with your lender is really up to you, right? I mean, as a lender, I would want you to make interest payments to me every single month. I wouldn't want you to defer everything until you sell the house. But let's just look at the scenario. So that's it. That's finished. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say after repair value of this house is $400,000. It's going to take me 3 months to sell. We're going to sell it for $400,000, and my cost of sale is going to be 6% to realtors. Plus, I'm going to add another point for deed preparation, maybe some concessions. So your analysis and your inputs are done. This is very simple stuff. It's not complicated, right? Anybody can do this. I can see that my cost basis will be 74% plus another 7% to sell. So 81% of ARV. This is my profit. My cash into the deal is 0, right? So now all I'm going to do, let's just create our presentation. I'm going to click on view reports, and I'm going to click full presentation for private lender with flip exit. And I'm going to add an executive summary here, and I'm going to click generate. So I didn't want to take forever on this call, so I've already inserted a couple of pictures here. And so, but this is what it looks like. We're going to click show PDF, and it's going to generate a PDF of this presentation that you can print, you can email, right? So what do we have? We've got the cover page, picture of the property, your company logo. You can get rid of powered by Rehab Valuator, and you can say created by Dan Z and make it look like this was your invention, right? So in the software, you have ability to edit these footers. We obviously want you to keep it there because you're going to spread the word about our software, and it's great, but you can get rid of it, right? So it can look completely white labeled, like it's something that you created from scratch. Nobody has to know that this is an out of the box software solution. My executive summary, again, the only thing I had to do in here was just enter some qualitative information. Everything else is populated, right? My information, my logo, and then this is just a write-up about who I am, what my company does, and the opportunity. Map of where this property is located. And then this is the really powerful stuff, right? This is the private lender. Now, this is called private lender funding request, flip exit, but you can actually go in here and you can edit this out and you can say projected financials for private money partner, right? You can name this whatever you want. So let's get rid of this and let's click show PDF again. And so this is, the financials is really, I think, where the rubber meets the road, because now I'm showing my lender only the things that they care about, right? Dan, what do people care about most in this world?
Two things. One is they want to make sure their money's protected. And then secondly, they care how much they're going to make.
Both are exactly right. I was just going to say they care about themselves, right?
That's
so, which is like the short version of what you just said. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. When it comes to private money, they want to know that they're going to get their money back, and they want to know how much money they're stand to make. So here's what I'm showing my lender, and let me zoom in here so everybody can see. This is what they need to know. After repair value is $400,000. This is what I'm paying for it. These are my rehab costs. This is how much money I need. And then I'd also like you to defer another $11,500 in interest payments, right? So this will be the total loan amount when the project is finished, but it's only 74% of the after repair value. And I need the money for 6 months. And I always recommend, if you think you'll need the money for 6 months, ask for 12, right? Don't put yourself in the box. And I am offering an 8% interest rate. And then this is what they're going to make to the penny. Over those 6 months, they're going to make $11,568 off of interest, which is an 8% cash on cash return. And then you've got a bunch of pictures of the property. You can include the cash flow summary that shows them exactly how cash flows will come in and out month to month. This is automatically generated for you. That's optional. You can include that if you want, but that's completely auto-generated. Here's a comparable sales report. You know, I just told them here that my after repair value is $400,000. Well, hey, here's proof. And I'll show you in a second how we get comps. Here are my comparable sales, right? Most of these are slightly smaller houses. And then here's some additional pictures, right? So the other reason why this is powerful, and at this point, we've been doing this long enough to where, I mean, I know that our clients have raised literally tens of millions of dollars using this. I think this is powerful because people love real estate because it's, I mean, not to be cheesy, but it's real. They can touch it, they can feel it, right? So the more pictures you can show them, the more real you can make this in their mind, the better, right? So you can include actually 2 additional pages of pictures here.
You are not a shortage of pictures. I was just going over this week with my students in my training call. That was our week call today, is how to present presentation. And I was just adding pictures and pictures and pictures. And I'm like, more pictures and pictures and pictures.
Yeah,
I mean, awesome. How powerful this thing looks with the pictures. And people are on here like they're just hitting us up. I love it. Your program is genius. Love the way you learn how to position yourself. Well said. I mean, that's awesome stuff. These are some good people on here that are loving what you did. So guys, I love the feedback. By the way, while he's doing this, if you have questions, post them here, please. He's going to share, and then I'll have him share the link I use for my students. So he adds stuff in for my students on our link. So he says he's going to add something for you guys in there for my link. So he'll share that with you. But if you have questions, ask him in here. I'll be glad to ask him when he's done, but I want him to keep rolling through this so he can get through it.
So a couple of other things I want to show you, right? There's full deal structure and flexibility here. If you want to add points, right? If you want to add, let's just go crazy, right? Let's give away, I'm a foreigner. Sometimes I don't know the right terminology. Give away the cow and the milk, right? Is that, so let's just create a really incredible deal for your lender to which they'll never be able to say no, and you should never do this, right? But I want to show you what you can do. So let's offer them 3 points, 10% interest rate, and we're going to offer them a 25% profit split, right? Don't do this because you don't have to. You don't need to pay that much for your money, but I want to show you what you can structure. So now, before, we never offered points, so points were never mentioned in this report. One thing that we're very careful about is if you're not paying points, we don't mention points on the presentation, because if you're showing them I'm offering you 0 points, they're probably going to ask, why are you offering 0 points? So we don't mention points unless we're offering points. But now here you can see I'm offering 3 points, and I'm offering 10% interest rate and 25% profit split. And now, Mr. Private Lender, let's zoom in a little bit. You're going to make 27% annualized cash and cash return, right? I mean, who's going to say no to this? So you have full structuring flexibility. So when I say you can do pure joint ventures, what you can do is you can go in here and you can say, I'm not going to give you any points. I'm not going to pay any interest payments at all to you, but I'll give you 50% of the profits.
And guys, while he's doing this, look at the bar graph on the bottom, how it changes. And it kind of shows everyone everything. And you don't have to get on the phone. I know as he's working this, I'm just going to speak. You don't have to get on the phone and try to sell your investors to fund your deals. You just show this to them. It's going to spell everything out the most professional way I've ever. Like I said, I use this in my business. I use this day in and day out in my business. I teach this to my students in my private money training class. They use it. They raise a crap load of money. The ones, there's no more. I get requested for money all the time. I've never seen anyone send this to me. If they sent this to me, I'd be blown away, and I'd probably fund their deals and I'd take them seriously. That's why I have them on here. Like I said, it's not my program. I don't have a dog in this race. I just want to share what I use in my group so you guys can see this. But you see, as he's hitting these different buttons, all the numbers change automatically. You don't even have to figure them out. So if you're not good at math, just take what your contractor gives you and put it in there. Take what your lender's giving you and put it in there.
It's all done for you. You literally have to upload pictures and just write some descriptions about what you're offering, right? All the graphs, all the financials, they're all calculated for you. But this is what a joint venture looks like. Profit split of 50%. And if the deal sells at the price I think it's going to sell, you're going to make 43.5 as the lender, or 30% annualized return on your money. Right, so you can create joint ventures here, and it doesn't have to be 50%. It can be 25%, 30%, right? Knowing sort of the risk tolerance of your specific lenders that you're talking to helps, right? Knowing, do they have a higher risk tolerance, and are they willing to take on more risk in exchange for a higher reward, or are they conservative and just want, you know, a low LTV loan with a normal interest rate and the monthly interest payments, right? So you can tailor your deal structures to the specific people who you are. And again, I don't want to use the word pitching, because with this, you don't pitch. You give people opportunities to participate. That makes sense? So I want to show you, well, there's a lot to show, right? But let me show you comparable sales. So if I simply go here and I click comps, it takes me to a tab. Right now, we're pulling our comps from Zillow. Now, these are actual solds, right? People hear Zillow and they're like, oh, Zestimates, Zestimates are garbage. Forget Zestimates. These are actual sold data from Zillow. And right now we're working on adding another additional data source here. But if I click on comps, it automatically gives me this list of 25 comparable sales. I can map them to see where they're in relation to my property. I can sort them by price, square feet, distance. And so you see this number here at the top, dollar per square foot. Right now, this is the average of all 25. But if I only want to select houses that are of similar size to mine, I would simply go here and check the relevant ones, right? The comps that I think are relevant. Now I can check, I can click on this and go directly to Zillow and see when did it sell? What are the pictures? What are the finishes like? Is my house going to have similar finishes, right? I can go in here and I can read the description usually of the house that's sold. So I can make sure these are relevant comps. All right, So in the software, I'm going to select the comps that I think are relevant, and it's going to update my average dollar per square foot here. And if I want to ballpark my after repair value, once I've selected the comps that I think are relevant, I'm simply going to multiply this average dollar per square foot by my 2280 to arrive at my ARV. And then I'm going to click here, include in presentation, right? And I've already got comps in there, so I can't, but these are the comps that were relevant. That makes sense. So not only is this helpful for obviously figuring out your ARV, but it's pretty vital for being able to figure out what offer you should make, right? Because without knowing what your ARV is, you can't figure out a correct offer to make on this property. But then you populate the comps report into your presentation, right? So you go view reports, and comps report here is included with your presentation. So it's a credibility thing. You're telling your private lender my ARV is 400. Here, let me show you proof. All right. So that's for flipping. Now I can click here and go to hold, and I can analyze deals that I'm going to either rehab or build and rent, or I can go here and click refi and analyze BRRRR deals. So now might be a good time to stop and take questions, and I can, because I mean,
okay,
I can go down the rabbit hole as deep as you guys want, and I can go all night. It's just a matter of like, how can we best help people?
And
right?
guys,
So,
I want to jump in here and I'll ask questions. Just so you see those little green cameras, video cameras, there's great training videos in this. That's how I learned how to do this. I'm great at raising private money. I'm great at creating passive wealth. I'm the most technological idiot there is. I'm very, as great as Daniil is, I'm that bad at it. So if I can figure it out, I'm sure you could. Let me get some great comments coming through. Guys, keep asking questions. I'll ask Daniil those questions. Someone did ask, Big D asked, can you show how you use this for scopes of work, bids, and CRM?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So there is no CRM here, but we do create scopes of work with this. So if I go into this budget and I go into detailed input, right? I can, so let me show you like an active, let me show you a real deal that I just finished. Let's save this. I'm going to show you, I just literally finished construction on a 6-unit building. And I've got a ton of data in here, so it's going to take a second to pull up. So first of all, I can click here and show bids. And as I'm budgeting this deal out before I start the project, I can, for each line item, start storing my bids. So here's electrical, labor, and wire, 24,000. So this was from Curtis Bear. And then here's a copy of his bid, right? Stored here in the system. So for each line item, I can store up to 3 bids. If this is a verified, if this is a finalized bid number, I'm simply going to click here and mark it as green. That way I know I don't need to keep getting more bids for this line item. So once I've budgeted my job out, now when I take this out for permitting, I can go here and click print, and I can click print blank scope of work. It's going to print this out, right? Completely blank scope of work that I can hand out to a contractor. Or I can click, and again, we have super detailed tutorials in this, right? Because there's a lot to it, but here's my scope of work with my quantities, right? And they can go in here and they can update rates. I can also print out my whole budget. I can include this budget in my lender presentations, in my bank presentations, private lender presentations. But this is where I build out my budget, and I know to the penny, right, what this project is going to cost me. And then on an ongoing basis, here's my in-app accounting. Your bookkeeper can do this. Your VA can do this. It's super simple. Every time somebody gets paid, I go in here and I record it, and it links. Every time I pay somebody, it links to some line item in my budget. And that way I can go to my track screen and I can see during the project and at the end of the project, you know, how am I doing? Where am I under? Where am I over? Right? Does this make sense? So here was my budget. And at the end of the project, right, I came in actually pretty close. On some things I went over and some things I went under. And then I can go in here and I can create reporting, right?
Just
so,
click, yeah, I was going
to
say.
So here's my post-construction project summary. So if you come to me and you say, hey, you just built a 6-unit apartment building, how'd you do? Well, I can tell you, right? My all-in cost was $132 a foot. My soft costs were $10 a foot. My hard costs were $121 a foot, right? This is how much equity I created. You know, here's everything I spent and what it costs per foot. So does this make it slightly easier for me to estimate my next multifamily building? Sure, right? It probably saves me a whole lot of time. I can go in here and here's my budget versus actual by group. I can sort this by my biggest line items. I can sort this by variances. Hey, where did I underestimate on this project? Flooring, right? Where did they save the most money? Masonry. If I look at my budget, what's my biggest expense here? Where should I go and negotiate to get my costs down? Well, should I bother trying to get my installation guy down, or should I go and revisit my framing? So if you're actually rehabbing and doing new builds, you know, I build this for myself because I'm doing a ton of development, but I mean, I think a tool like this is invaluable. And I don't know if this is answering your question, right? But I mean, you can create scope of works.
I think it is.
You can track all your bids. And here, all my documents are stored in one place. So I'll show you.
Guys, I think he's showing you, and this is what I talked to him about. I said, you really could charge a lot more for all these add-ons. He literally gives everything in here away for it's cheap. And he hasn't even told you the price yet. You're not going to believe, and I'm not just saying this, I cannot believe what he's charging. Wait, but hold on. But what I'm saying is he literally, this stuff, most people on here are probably not even going to use. You're going to go in here, you're going to put all your numbers in, your rehab's going to be 40,000. You're going to click the one checkbox to do a report for a fix and flip, right? Show them the reports, the one box for fix and flip, or you're going to check the one box for a rental, and you're going to have a presentation immediately to give out, right? So that's really as much info as this has, which I have a lot of this info I use. I literally know when I walk through a property, I don't even need all this. I literally know that my rehab's 30 grand, 50 grand, 40 grand. I know it's a burr. I just click on a report. I send it to my private lender. They fund my deal. But he has all this additional stuff in here that he just throws in, and he's agreed to put in stuff for my students in my group that he just adds in here. He just adds all this extra stuff in here, which is so awesome. And I just got somebody, Ken says I know he'll use all of it. I have Jeff in here. I've been using the system for a while. I just used it last week for a wholesale deal that I put out, and the first call made over 40 grand.
That's awesome. I haven't even talked about the wholesale marketing here because, I mean, that's a whole separate thing, right? But so, I mean, if we look, that's awesome. Congratulations. I love hearing stuff like this. So the same deal that we just looked at, that's the other component, right? There's a whole separate set of marketing reports here. If I'm a wholesaler, this is what I'm going to send out for the same exact deal. I'm going to send this out, right, to my buyers list.
I know we probably have some wholesalers on here. I know I have a lot of buyers on here. I know I'm a buyer. I never get this from wholesale. I would love to see this one-sheeter from a wholesaler.
It's the same exact deal, but these are the numbers that you as the buyer want to see, right? I'm offering this deal for 200 grand. So, I mean, if I had it under contract for 200, I'd be marketing it for something higher, right? So I would obviously mark it up. So I'd go in here and add my assignment fee here. And then you send out marketing sheet, flip exit. And again, you need to fill out some basic info, upload a couple of pictures, but this is what your buyers see. You're going to pay 220 for this. Approximate rehab costs are this, and your buyer, it's on them to verify those numbers, right? You're giving them enough information for them to decide, is this worth taking a closer look at? Here's my projected cost basis. Obviously, in this case, this wouldn't be much of a, because there's a profit split here. Hold on. So if you are wholesaling, you're going to get rid of financing and just model this as an all cash deal, right? So then this is what your buyer will see.
And so easy it is. You just click a button and it figures out all the forms you need to send.
But it gets better, right? You can click get unique link and the software generates a unique web page just for this marketing sheet. You can text that link. You can email that link. You can post this to social media if you want. Right, to your page, to your business page, to groups. You can post this to LinkedIn. You can embed code on your site, or you can just create a PDF and take it to local RIA meetings, whatever you want to do. Or you can actually publish this on our Find Deals platform, where tens of thousands of users of the software can go and look at your deal. Yeah. Right. So we have, if you go here, my resources under Find Deals, that's where our premium members can post their wholesale deals and get their deals sold.
And anyone, that's one thing, anything in this group today, right? They're going to get premium. They're going to get everything, right? They're not going to, nothing's going to be blocked out for them, right?
No. If you, awesome. So yeah, if you have premium, you have the full functionality.
All right. Awesome.
So I guess the one big thing that, Dan, you want me to go through like permanent financing scenarios and how to show that to banks?
Yeah, just quickly, because not much is going to change. But yeah, because a lot of these guys are using the burr method. So yeah, let's go that.
So I'll show you. No, let's go back. I'll show you a new dev deal that I'm doing. It's the most recent example, lender model. So this is a 14-unit building that I'm breaking ground on actually next Monday, weather allowing. So this is what I sent to my local bank. And this is both for construction and permanent financing. This is what it looks like. This is the building, by the way. I call it a Motel 8 because the only entrances are in the back via exterior balconies. So it kind of looks like a fancy version of a Motel 8, but it's pretty sweet. There's corner commercial, there's 13 apartments. I got the land. I stole the land legally. Stole the land. But so this is what I sent to my banker. This thing will appraise for $1,850,000. And by the way, I called it because the appraisal came in, guess where? At 1.9, right? So the appraisal actually came in at 1.9 million. Here's the construction costs, right? I'm looking to borrow $1.3 million. And when it's done and stabilized, when I have tenants in this property, this is the net operating income that the property will generate at, my value is based on the 6.4% cap rate. It's going to take me 18 months to stabilize it and roll it over into permanent financing. And then this is the debt coverage ratio of the permanent financing loan, assuming this rate and 25-year amortization.
And that's really what a bank wants to see, is they love the DCR, that coverage ratio. That's really what they look at.
This is one piece of paper. I cannot exaggerate this. And this is one. Now I include executive summary and I include the construction budget with this, but it's really this that matters. This is basically one sheet of paper that has raised me, I don't know at this point, close to $10 million from banks. And
no,
then,
I know my buddy Ben has asked how much money has the system raised, and I know you probably can't even come up with the answer because
I have no idea.
How many users do you have on this platform now? About
premium paying, we have about 5,000.
5,000. I'm sure they've
currently. People have come and people have gone. I mean,
yeah. I don't know why people go, but it's funny because one of the people we had talked about, a mutual friend, he had been in the system a while ago, came to me, constantly comes to me, asking me for money. And I just got to the point, he's like, you know how to raise money. How come I don't? And I'm like, because you don't show me a presentation. And he goes, what do you use? And I said, you know what? I do a lot, right? I teach a lot on how to do this, build a bio, build social media. I do a whole training on this, but I'm like, at bare minimum, just use this. And he's like, wow, I don't know why I don't use it. I go, exactly. That's why you have trouble raising money. You keep coming to me. So I'm going to say this. I can tell you, me personally, I've raised over $30 million of new money, and velocity of that money has been over $200 million in the last few years. So I can only imagine what 5,000 users have raised if you use this platform. And it's
and again, not all 5,000 use it to raise money, right? There's wholesalers in the platform, and there's people doing simple deals, but I mean, just from the testimonials that we've received, it's millions and millions of dollars. And look, I mean, this is not a magic bullet, right? If you're a complete newbie in this business, you're not going to sign into this tomorrow and then magically go out and raise millions of dollars. This is a tool in your arsenal, right? Mm-hmm. Use what Dan teaches, use his training, right? Use everything else that he provides. But this is something that makes you look very professional, even if you're fairly new in the game. So this is a tool that you can put to work to, first of all, just make better decisions, right? Like, I am soliciting bids right now for a $3 million development project that we're breaking ground on in the spring. And the only way I know where these bids have to come in at was because I'm using a tool like this. I know what my budget should be. I know what the maximum I should be able to, I can afford to pay for construction is, right? Because, I mean, I'll show you this deal, right? Let's not go crazy here, but I mean, I can talk about this stuff all day, but here's the building we're getting ready to break ground on. Oh, where is it?
It's funny you say that. Now people are like, oh, I should be buying land. You got people interested in land. Now I want to know about land. Now everyone wants to buy land.
Love land. Love land. So look, this is because I've run a pro forma on what this building will look like when it's stabilized, right? Here's my 2-bedroom units. Here's my various 1-bedroom apartments, restaurants, commercial. I've run my pro forma. I know what my income will be. I know what my expenses will be roughly, right? It's all here. So I know what the value will be. That's the only way I know what the maximum I should be able to pay for construction is, right? Which is roughly this. So without this, without a tool like this, I would have absolutely no idea, right?
If nothing else, this is like your babysitter. Guys, if you're getting involved in deals and you're not putting your numbers in a system, if anything else, if you don't forget about raising money, this will tell you up front whether you should do this deal or not. It's going to spit out You know, if you're using the burn method, right, and you you know your bank's going to refi you out at 70, 75% after, let's say, 6 months or a year, and your numbers are at 92%, you know, hey, I'm going to leave money in this deal. It's, if nothing else, it's your babysitter. It's going to tell you, yes, it should have a green light, red light. You probably set it up that, hey, anything at this number, green light, anything at red light, stop. It's not a deal.
It's going to save you from some terrible deals. I mean, again, I can go down the rabbit hole, but basically, so if I leave money tied up on a deal, my first year cash and cash return needs to be 10%. So I'm barely hitting that threshold here because I know that my takeout financing will be 4.25 at 30-year amortization. Right.
But now jump that 30-year to a 25-year AM, like a lot of commercial lenders give, and watch what happens.
But see, I'm going to refi this with Fannie because it's a big project. But look, if I go to 25-year AM, it crushes my cash and cash return.
So it's not a deal then for Daniil. See how great this. That's why I love this, because it's like a deal analyzer. It's not just to raise money. It's not just to do marketing. It's not for wholesaling. It actually analyzes my deals. I put my numbers in here. Boom, boom. I already have my returns. I know what my rates are. I know what my costs are. I dump numbers in here. It tells me nothing. You can tell me all you want that this deal is going to sell for this amount of money, that the closing cost is going to be, I know, right, boom, within literally 3 minutes. If I don't do it in my head, I can put it in here and know down to the penny almost what my returns are going to be.
Yeah.
You know, so that's awesome. I know, oh, you got somebody here from your town. I got Bhavna in your town. She goes, this is Bhavna. She goes, I live in Arlington, Virginia.
Nice.
Would love to come down to Richmond and use this tool to try my first burn method. This is giving me confidence to try my first one. Sure, let me know if there's any people or resources I might connect with in Richmond as I plan this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reach out to me. I'll be happy to connect you with lenders or whatever else I can help you with. I mean, it's a great market. You know, it's gotten more competitive just like anywhere else, but
you got to position yourself better than anybody else like this.
Yeah.
So is there
any
other
questions can we answer?
Yeah, let's answer some other questions, and he's going to show you what he can do for you. He's given me a link. I'll post my link here for you guys, but I don't see any guys. Any other questions? Because it's getting late. I don't want to hold him too much, but I wanted him to. I could have showed this to you all day long, but I could not show it to you the way he could, because he uses it. He uses every facet of this that I don't even use because I don't need it. All right, cool. So he says, I'm guessing this is some kind of instructions down. Yeah, literally, Bill, when you get in there, you literally plug and play. And if you need any videos, just show me real quick where the instructional videos are.
So yeah, and that's a great question. So look, first of all, we're kind of crazy about support. Like I beat the crap out of my team. They're super responsive. We have 2 full-time support people and a part-time person as well. So you can submit a support ticket here, right? In the software, anytime you see a green camera icon, that's a tutorial. You're going to get sick of my voice by the time you get done watching these because it's all me recording these, but there's a tutorial here every step of the way. Every input and output has a little question mark that explains that field. You can hover over the help and go to all of our tutorials here. There's a knowledge base directory and then detailed step-by-step tutorials here, case studies and education. So, I mean, there's about 5 different ways you can get help. Every single thing is explained. And if something is still not clear, if it's during the week, if it's between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern, we reply to support tickets usually within a couple of minutes.
He is. I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. He must have an army back there because he's running, like I said, 3 companies. He's actually built this for himself. He's a developer himself. You're in the business as an investor, which I love when people build systems around their own business because it's built for investors. To make it friendly because you've had problems yourself. So you built this around your system. So, and then you're constantly responding. Like you might be like me, constantly on the phone, constantly taking care of people. And I tell my wife the same thing. I just don't want to let my investors, stagger and wait for me. But I can.
I hate signing up for something and putting my trust in the product or a system and then not, people love to sell you stuff and then drop off the face of the earth, and that's the last thing that we want to do.
All right. Well, I got some people that have to jump off, and I know you're only going to give something, like do something for people tonight. So
yeah. So here's what I did. And I'm only doing this for you, Dan, and really for your people. I've never done this before. So here's what to do next. I actually need to go in here and I need to put a link, right, that we've created.
Yeah. So they know it's for our students.
So if you go to Rehab Valuator /Dan Z, that's the link, right? If you
put that in the
rehabvaluator.com /
hold on, leave that there. Rehabvaluator.com /
So normally when you sign up for the software, you get a bunch of bonuses. There's a whole set of legal contracts there, additional training. But if you go to that link and you sign up tonight and you take the annual plan, and the reason why it's only for the annual plan is because we like people who make a commitment, right? The annual plan will save you 32% over what you would be paying monthly. It's $397 a year. In addition to all of the bonuses, what I'm going to do, and again, I've never done this before because I don't have much time, right? And I really don't like to trade my time, but I'm doing this really because you guys are all part of Dan's tribe and I respect Dan a lot and I wanted to throw this in. I'll give you an additional 30-minute session directly with me where we can review, what we normally do is we hop on a screen share and we can review your deals, right? I can look at your funding presentations. And I can only do this for people that sign in tonight because
I just appreciate
I don't want to know what you charge for consulting, but like the few times that I ever consult, and I usually don't, I mean, I'm charging $800 to $1,000 an hour. So
that's even a bit more than me. I charge $400 an hour. So, man, I didn't know you were going to give this away. I can't thank you enough. I don't know how you're going to do it. But I know we have about 40 people on. I know at least half of them will be crazy not for $397 for this is nuts.
Well, and you know, and look, and I like doing that because when I do have the opportunity to do it, I like talking to our clients because I love to see how you're using the software. You know, seeing it in action helps me come up with ideas for improving it. So I don't have much time. I don't do this almost ever, but like I'll do this for you guys and I'll hop on a call with you and we can look at your deals. We can look at your numbers. We can look at your funding presentations, whatever it is you want. And I really only have one condition for it. Right? I want you to have the software for at least a few weeks and really get to know it. That way I'm not teaching you the basics when we hop on the call. You're actually asking me good questions, right? And it's really better use because I don't want you asking me things that our support can answer, right? So sign up, get to know the software, practice with it, and then we can hop on a call and really make sure that it's productive and impactful for you.
Jeff asked this question. I'm gonna answer it myself. What if you already have it? Can you get on the talk with Daniil? I'm gonna say probably not. He just doesn't have the time to talk to 40 people. If you have it and you're using it, shoot something to support.
Email us. We'll help you, right? Yeah. I mean, we take great care of our clients. I don't normally personally hop on the phone with our clients,
right? Because
that's what my support team is there for, and I also had 2 kids in the last 2 years. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. I have a 2-year-old and 9-month-old. So time has gotten pretty valuable recently. So, but I mean, if you already have the software, we appreciate your business. Email us. We'll help you whatever way we can. And if it's something that my support team can't answer, I'll help you myself.
Daniil, someone asked, does this include the house valuation software or is that different?
No, this is the whole package. This is the whole software. You can use this for wholesaling. You can use this for building and flipping, rehabbing and flipping, building rentals, new development, everything that I just showed you tonight. It's all in that package. So
guys, that's a good question, Bill. It's exactly what I said in the beginning. Like you should be upcharging for every little thing you add and people will pay for it because like if there's a developer on here, they'll pay another, $2,000 to have that package. Yeah. There's a wholesaler on it. He'll pay extra. He literally just giving everything away. And I don't know how else to say, like, this is dirt cheap. Jump on this. If you don't jump on this, I don't even know why you jumping on a call today because I'm talking about raising private money. I'm giving you exactly what I use. It's not my program. I don't own Rehab Valuator. All I do is I have a shirt. If you say it, I have a great shirt. You know, that's what I get out of this.
You
I have a
look
great shirt.
good in that shirt, Dan. Great in that shirt.
I'm really rocking it. But guys, you have to, like, if you're not in this business to really raise money, and you don't think $397 for the full year for everything he's giving you, then you're really not thinking in this business to get money. And why am I pushing it so hard? Because I have so many people hit me up asking about raising money. Just to buy my online training right now is $997. That's going up to $2,500. To train with me one-on-one for my online training on raising private money is $5,000. That's going up to $6,000 next session. That's going to go up to $20,000 to do. I teach people exactly how to do this, right? And this is part of it. But if the worst case scenario for $397, jump on this tonight, and you get a 30-minute call with him where he charges $800 an hour. So he's giving you the system for free for a year, because essentially he's giving you $400 in free coaching up front. And I guarantee you that he's going to give you one thing in your platform, one thing that's going to change your business, one thing, one nugget. So don't think of this as a course. M. Redler, sign up. You got the link, rehabvaluator.com/Dan Z. Once again, you get there, and you as long as you sign up tonight, please, please, please do not hit me up tomorrow and saying I couldn't get in here. There was a credit card issue. Can Daniel help me? We do not play scarcity. We do not play sales. He didn't really want to do anything because the price is so cheap. But I told him in my group, please give them everything you have, 100%. Don't do any add-ons, and give something back to the people that take action tonight. It's not a scarcity thing. I just want action takers to get it. So the link is there, www.rehabvaluator.com/Dan Z.
And Dan, sorry to interrupt you. So a couple of people ask if you can use this for commercial and multifamily. Yes. So, so exactly what I just showed you. You can use this for single family houses. You can use this for apartment buildings, for mixed use buildings, for commercial. You can use this for rehabs, for new construction, for flipping, and for holding. So all of it. Now, there's exit strategies that this won't work for. Like if you're selling with seller financing, it's not really built for that. If you're doing lease options, it's really not built for that, right? So but
yeah, it's funny you said that. I just had somebody ask me about, can you do something for subject to on here? And I said, I don't see how that would really work, but
no.
Well, I think we have some signups. Bill, thanks for your trust. I appreciate you. I actually wasn't even sure. I thought you were in here already, but I love that you're jumping in. But I'm seeing signups come through now. People are hitting me up that they're signing up.
That's awesome.
You're going to be pretty busy in a few weeks with a couple calls, but I appreciate you doing that for my group. I really can't thank you enough.
I look forward to it. And especially, again, I know everybody in your group is already coming to us with a great foundation, right? Because they're coming from you. And so I like getting on calls with people that are doing deals or asking great questions. And again, the few times that I get an opportunity to do that, it really helps me come up with some great ideas for improvements. And we're already working on a bunch of, so I showed you guys project management. The next release is going to have a scheduling feature where you can schedule out every part of your project and create a full project schedule.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's going to have ability to create rehab and construction draws, right? So if you are borrowing money from a bank, you're going to be able to click a button and generate a rehab draw to send to your lender. And then we're going to come out with an enterprise version where you'll basically be able to have multiple users on the same account.
I was just going to ask you that. Is there a way that you guys are going to come out with something where I can click a button and the rehab draw would go right to the private lender, or right to the hard money lender, or right to the bank?
Yep. So working on that right now.
That was one of my biggest thoughts. I'm like, if you ever had that would be freaking awesome. Make it just easy. It just not even have to, and everything's on a timeline. And with your contractors, so you can put your contractors in there too and keep them on a timeline.
Yeah, we haven't built that in, and honestly, I haven't done that because, I don't know about you, but like 60% of the subcontractors they use don't even have email, right? So
same thing.
Getting them to use a Rehab Valuator software, that seems, That seems challenging to me. So we
Yeah.
haven't built something in yet where you can get all your contractors in terms of having them sign in to the software to like view schedules. Now we have ability in the software to organize all your contractors along with their contact information and like keywords. So you can search, I need a plumber, here's my list of plumbers. I need an electrician, here's my list of electricians. And then when you pay them in the transactions, you tag each transaction to that specific contractor. So, so Bill, on the order form, there is an option for it's a $47 option for a one-on-one walkthrough with my support team. So that is something that we normally sell at a discount to everybody that signs up, where one of my support team will schedule a 30-minute walkthrough with you just to show you around the software and give you kind of a one-on-one tour. You don't necessarily need that if you're going to do a session with me. You can just go through our tutorials. It's up to you, right? But that's not really the same thing, if that makes sense.
Cool.
Right. So normally that's something that my support team does, which is like an onboarding call, right? So they get on the call with you and they say, hey, Bill, like, what do you use the software for? Wholesaling? Okay, let me show you exactly how to use it for wholesaling. Let me give you a tour of the software. But they're not investors. They're like customer success people, right? So they can show you how to do things in the software, but they can't really look at your deals, tell you how you should be structuring your financing, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're going to get the bonus with me tonight, you probably don't need that walkthrough. So you don't necessarily need to pay the extra $47.
Well, you just saved another 40, $50, guys.
Yeah, man, I'm all about saving you guys money.
Awesome.
Probably be charging more, but I mean, I really want as many people using this, and I would rather have more users in the platform and leave some money on the table, because we've met so many cool people through this business. I mean, our clients are awesome.
We met. Bill also asked, he's also signed up right now for a monthly plan. How do I cancel that? So Bill, you're trying to sign up for the annual instead of monthly? Is that what it is?
Go ahead and sign up for the annual, and when we end this webinar, I'll just cancel your monthly subscription, right? And I'll refund you that. I'll just void that $49 charge. Yeah, I mean, I'm only making this bonus available, guys, for people to take the annual plan, because again, I like people that make a commitment.
And that's what we talked about.
And they'll save you money, so it's kind of a no-brainer.
And he asked me that before he even got on the call and did this. He agreed to do this. We talked about this months ago. I guess a lot of people hit him up and ask him to do these webinars and show their team. And he's like, you have the platform, just show it to them. And I'm like, well, I think if you show it to them, they're going to learn a lot better than what I show them. I'm the guy using it, but I want them to see from the founder of the company. And I try to bring the experts on. Like, I bring expert attorneys on, expert accountants on, expert everything I try to bring on is the expert, rather than me telling you how to do it. And he's like, well, I just want, I'm only going to do something if they take action. That's what my thing is. I'm not here to waste time with people that aren't action takers. So that's why, like you said, if we had our Facebook Live call, that would have had probably 100-something people on there. I think we got up to about 50 on here. We'll see how many people take action. And then from there, we'll drip it out to our list. But our lists are not going to get, unfortunately, they won't get the call with Daniil. They'll still be able to sign up. It's still worth it. I just think that if somebody's giving me $400 worth of coaching from an expert that does this day in and day out, I'm taking that alone. And I got to say, we must look good in the shirt, because Jason just said, does it come with the shirt left and right? So I guess I'm modeling it pretty good.
You can be our new spokesmodel then. Did you, I think I mailed you 3. Did you get like different colors? Yeah,
I did. I'm going to look good and I'm going to look sexy out here. Nice. That was awesome. But guys, I'm gonna let Daniil go, because he's got his wife waiting for him probably patiently. She's got the look. Everyone's a double X, by the way. See, Daniil didn't have double X. He only had men's small.
We had medium and large, so I had to make XXL especially for Dan, because he is.
Yeah, he had to go rush and buy more material. And he had to go rush and buy more material for me. All right, guys. Well, I got Chris Rosamondo in here. He's a health freak. He's like, no double X from me. Guys, thank you so much for being on. Daniil, I cannot thank you enough for, one, is your time and being so forthcoming with your time. I know how busy you are, And two is putting that amazing offer out to this group. I appreciate you doing that. Like,
Absolutely.
that's huge for me that you're able to do that, because I always want to offer our members something a little bit better than they can get somewhere else. So I can't thank you enough. And guys, make it great. Bring this into your business. This is something I can't stress enough. Once again, it's not my program. I don't own it. I'm just gonna back someone like Daniil 150% because it's worked so great for me. It's worked so great for my students. And with that, I wish you guys all the best. Take care.
Yeah, Dan, I appreciate it. I really appreciate you having me on. Hopefully this has been valuable for you guys. And, again, if you sign up tonight, then welcome. I'll send you a separate email instruct you how to schedule that call with me. And, we'll take great care of you. I mean, we want long-term relationships. We want you to be successful with this and using this for many years to come. And, again, we'll make sure that we give you every possible, method of help that we can. So
awesome. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.